Shanghai Disneyland is the Walt Disney Company's newest theme park. It opened in 2016 and caused a lot of controversy among Disney fans. It doesn't have an It's a Small World, a Big Thunder Mountain, a Splash Mountain, or a Space Mountain. There's no Frontierland, and there's not even a Main Street USA. So what does this park have, and what has replaced these attractions? Hi guys, Gio here for Independent Guides, and today we're looking at Shanghai Disneyland's top unique attractions. When Disney was designing the new Disneyland for the Chinese audience, it knew it had to adapt the theme park to local tastes if it was going to succeed. The Chinese audience aren't familiar with many of the Disney characters, the films, or even some of the iconic rides, and so Disney had to think carefully about what it was going to include in the park. Number 1. Tron. So I said Shanghai Disneyland doesn't have a Space Mountain. That's because instead Disney built a super modern Tomorrowland, and that's based around Tron Light Cycle Power Run instead. On this ride, you board a light cycle ride vehicle and you sit like on a motorbike, leaning forward and holding onto handlebars. Then you're launched at 59 miles an hour into an outdoor section underneath the ride's glowing canopy before going inside into the show building and racing against the other light cycles. The local Chinese audience doesn't have the nostalgia that Americans associate with Space Mountain. Space Mountain was an original ride, so even in Disneyland Paris, they went for a completely different version of that ride, so it makes sense that they do the same for Shanghai. Instead, you'll see that a lot of the original rides at this park have been replaced with IP rides, rides based on films. Tron is a 1982 film, but there was a sequel released in 2010, so Disney clearly felt that this concept was more likely to work in China than the original Space Mountain, and therefore ran with it, and this instantly became one of the attractions that Disney fans around the world became jealous of. Tron is going to remain as a unique attraction for only a short time longer though, as next year in 2021, Tron Light Cycle Power Run will be opening at Disney's Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. Next up we have Voyage to the Crystal Grotto. Voyage to the Crystal Grotto is a boat ride which you board in Fantasyland on boats just like those you'll see on Jungle Cruise. As you sail along the canal, you'll see scenes with characters and water fountains, and you'll hear music play over the loudspeakers for each individual scene. You'll see scenes from Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Fantasia, Tangled, Mulan, and The Little Mermaid. Again, notice how all of these are modern films. The exception I guess is Fantasia, but even then, this might be Fantasia 2000. And in that case, The Little Mermaid is the oldest of the films, and that only came out in 1989. For the grand finale, you go into caves underneath the enchanted storybook castle. Through some clever projection mapping, you'll see the rockwork around you transform. It's a cute and simple attraction which fits perfectly into Fantasyland, and it's essentially a much grander and more elaborate version of the storybook canal boats, which you can find at Disneyland and Disneyland Paris. Next, at number 3, we have Camp Discovery Challenge Trails. The challenge trails at Camp Discovery were one of my favourite things to do at Shanghai Disneyland. Why? Because it doesn't feel like you're in a theme park, let alone a theme park in China. Instead, Disney's done a fantastic job of recreating the American wilderness with a mountain lined with adventure trails. The challenge trails are straight out of a treetop obstacle course like the kind you'll find across Europe and the US. The attraction has 3 different routes you can take, and then as you go along each of the routes there are 3 difficulty levels for each obstacle. This includes tightrope walking, moving barrels, and one of the routes even has you on the ledge of the mountain around a waterfall. You're always strapped in, of course, with a harness. This is Disney, so safety is very important, but it's incredible how difficult and nerve-wracking some of these challenges are. My top tip for those of you visiting Shanghai Disneyland would be to see what time this area opens and get there about 15 minutes before, as the queues get huge for this and there's no fast pass. Next up, we have Once Upon a Time Adventure. So this is a relatively minor attraction for the park. It's a walkthrough that can be found inside the park's castle, just like at Disneyland Paris and Disneyland. Except this isn't just a simple walkthrough, of course. This is Shanghai Disneyland with the biggest Disney castle in the world, so the Imagineers created an elaborate walkthrough experience. Once Upon a Time Adventure tells the story of Snow White, using clever transparent glass projections and props as you move from scene to scene. To be honest, it's worth seeing just for the incredible staircase alone inside the castle, and then the rooftop area that you end up in at the end. It's definitely more engaging than versions in the other parks, and it'll probably keep the kids more entertained. Next up at number 5, we have Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for the Sunken Treasure. Now, if you know anything about Shanghai Disneyland, you've probably been waiting for this one. This is perhaps the park's flagship attraction along with Tron. When Disney did its research before building the park, it soon became apparent that a simple, slow boat ride through scenes with animatronics wasn't going to cut it with the Chinese audience. They found it too boring. So Disney thought up a way of making pirates more exciting and to integrate the film franchise into it, which had done incredibly well. The Chinese did know Jack Sparrow. This is a mix of the old Pirates of the Caribbean's physical sets and animatronics, mixed with huge projection screens like those seen on Universal Orlando Spider-Man or Transformers attractions. The result is something unlike anything we've ever ridden. The animatronics are the latest generation, and therefore they're much more advanced than on the other Pirates rides. The scale of the building is also unlike anything else. There are these huge wraparound screens and scenes everywhere. And to put it into perspective, we've done the maths. Shanghai's Pirates takes up 3.7 acres, which is over twice the size of Disneyland's 1.7 acres, and even 60% bigger than Disneyland Paris's huge pirate ride. The boats on Battle for Sunken Treasure are also extremely advanced, and to maintain the careful timing of each scene, they speed up and slow down as necessary. Here it's not pumps in the water moving the boats, each of the boats are individually, carefully controlled. The boats can also turn and spin, and the boats can even travel backwards. Disney's done an incredible job blending the on-screen world with the real world, so it's genuinely almost impossible to tell where the on-screen water ends and the real water starts. It's truly a mind-blowing attraction that's worth riding again and again on any visit. It's not a true classic Pirates experience, and instead it is fairer to compare it with the likes of Ratatouille or Spider-Man or even Transformers. Next up at number 6, Roaring Rapids. Roaring Rapids is the park's only water ride. It's a raft ride similar to Kali River Rapids or Grizzly River Run, but once again Disney has upgraded it. And most of the ride is your classic water ride, so some small splashes here and there, lots of spinning, but there's also something else deep inside the mountain. Once you're inside, you'll hear roaring, and then you'll see Croc, a huge crocodile-like beast which appears out of nowhere. This reminds me a lot of the Yeti on Expedition Everest. It's really great fun, and generally speaking, you shouldn't come off too wet. And finally, we have some honourable mentions. Firstly, we have the park's main icon, Enchanted Storybook Castle, which is so big that it houses the two rides we talked about earlier, Voyage to the Crystal Grotto and Once Upon a Time Adventure. It also has a princess meet and greet attraction, the Royal Banquet Hall character dining experience, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and of course a shop. Enchanted Storybook Castle comes in at 197 feet tall, or 60 meters, which is only 8 feet taller than Cinderella Castle in Magic Kingdom and Tokyo Disneyland. But this castle is much wider and deeper than the others. The castle also has a stage built in, and a standing area for that stage as well, so that shows don't stop you walking through the castle like they do at Walt Disney World, and so that shows don't block up the hub with people standing either. Next, as an honourable mention, is the Alice in Wonderland maze, which is really creatively done and filled with photo ops. Again, it's based on the newer Alice films from Tim Burton and not the Disney classic. And while we're at it, all the classic Disney rides that are in this park have been hugely plussed. So Peter Pan's Flight is grander, it has more projected elements, and some of the scenes are a little bit different. Buzz Lightyear Planet Rescue, which is the laser shooting ride, has a lot more advanced shooting technology, which is so much better than in any of the other parks. Even the Winnie the Pooh ride here is better than the American parks, with little changes and modernizations. Also a shout out to the Jetpacks attraction in Tomorrowland, which is an upgraded version of Orbitron or Astro Orbiter. It's a little bit more thrilling and faster than the others too. And finally, something very simple but unique is the Garden of the 12 Friends, which isn't really a garden at all, but actually it's a series of mosaics representing the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac through Disney characters. It's really well done, and it's a cool photo op. And there we have it, a look at Shanghai Disneyland's unique attractions. We love that all the parks have their own unique things to see and do, and Shanghai really is unique. It's probably the most unique of the Magic Kingdom style parks, and soon there's set to be a new Zootopia Land opening. You can check out our video about that and other new rides coming to Disney parks with the link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please check out the rest of our channel. Also, please hit the like button, it's free and it really helps us out, and also subscribe to get more Disney and theme park content. At Independent Guides, we publish travel guidebooks to all of Disney parks around the world, including Shanghai Disneyland, so if you're planning a trip, check out the links in the description to get your copy, and use the coupon code YouTube to get a discount. And now over to you. If you could choose one of these rides to bring to your local Disney park, which would it be and why? We'd love to know. I've been Gia from Independent Guides, and I'll see you in the next video.